Today we're going to be testing your VO2 max using the Bruce protocol on the treadmill. I'll start by gathering some basic data. What's your name?
Sade.
How old are you?
28.
How much do you weigh?
140 pounds.
And how tall are you?
5'4".
64 inches. Thank you. Alright, so the lab instructor has discussed the procedures for the metabolic chart. He's entered your data in the chart. We've calibrated the machine and fit you for the mask for the test. Alright, so we're going to use the RPE scale during this test. 6 would be very, very easy. 20 would be absolute maximum. I'm going to go through some things that you're going to need to do to indicate to me when you want to stop the test. So if you want to stop the test, the first thing you can do, obviously if you just something happens you can't go any longer, you can just stop and grab on the side of the treadmill, or you can hold up one finger when you start to realize that you have about 1 minute left before you've reached like your peak and you can't go any longer. Or obviously when I ask you, I'm going to be checking your RPE at the end of every stage. When I check your RPE, if you give me a 20, then that means that you reach your max, and then we'll stop the test there as well. So during this test, I want you to monitor how hard you're working. Right, this test should be testing how hard you're working overall fatigue and tiredness. Don't just focus on like my legs are really burning, but maybe you're still having breath, so that may not be as high as an RPE. Focus on how you're feeling in total, and then we'll be checking the RPE and make sure you're giving us an accurate gauge of how you're currently feeling in that moment. All right, now that we've fit you for the heart rate monitor and the headpiece, the mouthpiece, and the headgear for the test, I'm gonna take your resting heart rate. Just go ahead and let your hand down. Cool, 72. All right, next we're going to complete a 3 to 5 minute warm up. So you can start off we're going to start off with something easy, no heavier than the first stage of the test. As long as you kind of get your heart rate going, get the blood flowing a little bit. I'm also going to start my stopwatch because overall time during the test can also indicate VO2 max. Okay, so we're going to start the first stage of the test. I'm going to set the treadmill to 1.7 miles per hour at a 10% grade, and you just keep up with that as we go. I'm going to increase to the next stage, as the protocol says, every 3 minutes. At the last 30 seconds of each stage, I'll record your heart rate, your relative and absolute VO2 max, and your RER. All right, so I've increased the stages now. I am monitoring you for any signs of symptoms indicating that you have reached your maximum work capacity there. I'm going to show you the scale of the RPE. Can you please show me how hard you're working? Great. All right, last 30 seconds again of the stage. I'm going to measure RPE. You told me how hard you're working. Your heart rate, we're tracking RER, and your relative and absolute VO2 max was tracked for this round. Now we're going to go to the third stage. All right, now we're in the last stage. I've increased the treadmill to 3.4 miles per hour at a 14% grade. All right, now it's the last 30 seconds of the stage. Can you please show me how hard you're working? Great. And so you have 1 minute left because you cannot communicate. That means that you are at your max and you're going to be going for 1 more minute. Great. All right, now we'll slow the treadmill down to 3 miles per hour at 0% for the cool down. All right, so the VO2 max criteria was reached because you were able to reach your maximum threshold. You indicated that you have 1 minute left on the test. So that is that. We're gonna leave your mouthpiece in for 5 minutes so we can continue to track your RER during the cool down, and then I will go ahead and calculate your VO2 max with the Bruce protocol formulas for people in your age and gender.